There comes a moment in every life when the heart feels heavy and the eyes witness injustice. But the hands remain tied, the voice remains silent, and courage feels lost. It is in that moment Iqbal speaks. He doesn't speak with mere words, he speaks with fire, he speaks with blood, he speaks with sacrifice. And this is the story of a single drop, a drop of blood, a Qatra-e-Khun. Iqbal begins with that drop, falling quietly onto the earth, alone, fragile, unnoticed. It doesn't scream, it doesn't beg for attention, it simply falls and disappears into the soil. But what the world fails to see is that inside that single drop sleeps a storm, waiting for the right time to awaken. That drop holds centuries of pain, decades of struggle, and the untold stories of countless hearts that dared to hope. Iqbal tells us that drop, which seems powerless, will not go in vain. The soil will remember it, the air will carry its scent, and soon that drop will bloom into 1,000 roses. But these are not ordinary roses. These are the roses of change, the roses of revolution, the roses that smell like sacrifice. Iqbal is reminding us that the world we see is built on the blood of those who chose pain over comfort, action over fear. And then he speaks to those who laughed, who doubted, who dismissed that single drop. He says, "You thought it was nothing. You thought it would dry and fade? Watch now as it turns the desert into a garden, as it writes new history with the ink of sacrifice." Iqbal's voice cuts through every layer of indifference. His words are a slap on the face of every sleeping heart. He says, "The journey of truth has always been written in blood." And then Iqbal shifts his gaze towards the youth, the dreamers, the warriors hiding inside ordinary men and women. He says, "You feel small. You feel your pain has no value. You think your tears, your sleepless nights, your silent battles mean nothing. You are wrong. Every drop of your struggle, every moment of your sacrifice is the seed of a future you cannot even imagine." This is the law of the universe, the law of nature, the law of life. Nothing goes to waste. Iqbal warns us, comfort is, really tempting. Silence, it feels safe. But history, well, history never remembers the silent ones. It remembers those who dared to bleed. And when you choose to walk this path, you will feel lonely, you will feel broken. But remember that your Qatra-e-Khun is not falling in darkness. It is falling honestly into the soil of destiny. And the earth will return it as 1,000 voices, 1,000 movements, 1,000 revolutions. And finally, Iqbal's closing message. He says, "You have two choices. Live for yourself or bleed for something greater. Stay silent or write your story with sacrifice. Remain just a number or become the drop that turns into a flood. Because in the end, the soil will choose whose blood will grow flowers and whose fear will turn to dust." So, will you stay silent or will you become that Qatra-e-Khun